It's game week 18 in the Premier League, and this is the Boxing Day set of fixtures. Let's get into the predictions. Afternoon everybody, hope you're doing well and welcome to week 18 in the Premier League. And we're going to go through all those fixtures for you guys today. And let's see how your club fare. What do you think your club's going to do this Boxing Day or 27th of December match? Let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to TFN if you are new here. And let's jump into the first fixture. The Etihad Stadium hosts the first game of the weekend as Manchester City will host Everton. Could you call this a Northwest rivalry? I don't really think so. Everton are slowly grinding out some boring but interesting results. A lot of 0-0s. They just drew with Chelsea 0-0, put a stop to a high-flying Chelsea at the moment. And Man City are 1 win in 12 after they held 2 at Aston Villa. And this slump just doesn't look like it's going to finish. Surely Everton can't upset the old apple cart here. But Everton have done well against the top 6 teams. They've, as we mentioned, drawn with Chelsea. They've also drawn with Arsenal. And you know what? I'm going to trust Diceball. I'm going to go a draw on this. I'm going to go Man City 0, Everton 0. The slump of Man City continues. St James's Park is the next point of call as Newcastle will host Aston Villa, and this is definitely an interesting match. Newcastle seem to have got their form together a bit of late, and Aston Villa are really good at home but not so good away from home, having lost their last 3 away. But coming off the back of a Man City win, maybe that puts them in good spirits and with good confidence. With Duran scoring yet again, it looks like he's replacing Ollie Watkins as the starter. And Isak having some great form of late, getting a hat-trick in their previous match, looking very good and attracting some interest from other clubs. This one has to be a draw. I think both teams would take a draw. I think they'd both be happy with it. I'm going to go Newcastle 1, Aston Villa 1. And I think they go away quite happy and still within a race for European spots, maybe even Champions League. What do you guys think? Head to the East Midlands and the world famous City Ground as Forest will host Spurs. And this, is anyone's guess. Forest are flying high, 4th in the league on merit, nearly halfway through the season, and putting out superb performances, breaking Brentford's unbeaten home run last week with a nice 2-0 win. They welcome Spurs. And what can you say about Spurs? Beating Man U by going 3-0 up, then nearly blowing it in the cup. Then they take on Liverpool, concede 6 goals, score 3, and determined to play this high line. And is he asking the question, are you not entertained? Well, yes, you have to agree with him. Spurs are very entertaining right now. But do they play into Nuno's hands here? Do Forest look at this one and think, they're going to leave us so much space to counter-attack. Let's just give them the ball and see what happens. Look, I'm a bit on the fence on this one. I think Forest can win it. I'm going to do what I normally do because it's worked the last couple of weeks. I'm going to say this one is Forest 0, Spurs 0. I got a sneaky feeling Forest win this and can win this comfortably. What do you guys think? Let's down south to the Vitality Stadium as Bournemouth will take on Crystal Palace. And Bournemouth themselves are flying high, 5th in the league, getting a thumping win at Old Trafford, 3-0, repeating what they did there last season. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, after showing signs of life, got absolutely walloped by Arsenal 5-1. But Eze was out. Whether or not he's out for this game, I don't know. He hasn't been in the greatest form this season for me, but he is a miss and a presence that Palace really need on the pitch. Bournemouth with their manager Iriola look pretty good to me. I think they win this one. I'm going to go Bournemouth 2, Crystal Palace 1. Another home win for Bournemouth. Can they make Europe this season? What do you guys think? West London derby at Stamford Bridge as Chelsea will host Fulham. And there is a bit of rivalry here, but I don't know how strong it is. Chelsea fans, Fulham fans, let me know, because they're very, very close. This one, well, Chelsea need to recover after their disappointment with the draw against Everton. If they want any hope of being in a title race, they must take 3 points against their local rivals here. Fulham, on the other hand, feel like they're just wavering a little, not performing as well as their promotion partners Forest and Bournemouth. I think they may struggle in this one. They've got a great manager in Marco Silva, but can they get over the line? Drawing with Southampton in their last game, not a great result. This one for me smells like a Chelsea win. I'm going to go Chelsea 3, Fulham 1. I'm just starting to feel like Fulham are wavering just a little bit. What do you guys think? South Coast we go, and St Mary's Stadium, as Southampton will host West Ham. And under their new manager, is there still life in Southampton yet? I really want to believe they can survive. I don't mind Southampton too much. But they're taking on West Ham, who are slowly steadying the ship. Getting a draw against Brighton last weekend, although they didn't play very well. Still struggling to see an identity from them, and Lopetegui is still not really a fan's favourite there. I just think the new manager bounce comes into play. First game for him at home for Southampton. You've got to expect the crowd to be up for it. You've got to expect the players to be up for it. And you've got to expect them to start getting some points if they want any chance of surviving. I'm going to go Southampton 1, West Ham 0. And if that happens, I think the West Ham fans go rioting about Lopetegui because they are not happy with him. What do you guys think? Molineux in the West Midlands is our next stop, as Wolves will take on Manchester United. And Wolves, under their new manager Pereira, were able to get the manager bounce and just thrash Leicester literally in one half. They're looking good under him, and the fan base seems to have found a bit of life again. But Manchester United, as we've spoken about already, not looking too good under Amorim. He's struggling to get his identity across, banishing Rashford, banishing Casemiro. What is the future like at Manchester United going forward? I think they're going to struggle here. I think the Molineux faithful have been desperate for a new manager and to get the team at home and back them with some support. So I'm going to go Wolves 2, Manchester United 1. I think they win this. Manager bounce coming into effect again. But what will this mean for Man United? Can they get to 40 points this season? We will find out. Anfield is our next stadium, as Liverpool will host Leicester City. And boy, oh boy, do Leicester City look like they're in deep trouble. Rude had a little short manager bounce, I think was undefeated in 3. And then is not looking good at all in his last 2 games. As we just mentioned, losing to Wolves. But it's their defence that scares the crap out of me. And what is with that goalkeeper, Danny Ward? He looks abysmal. I think they're in trouble. I know they got rid of Steve Cooper, who plays atrocious football and what have you. But players have to take responsibility as well. They are not looking good enough. And they at the very least need a January transfer window ASAP to bring in my opinion, a couple of defenders. Liverpool, on the other hand, as we mentioned, tonked Spurs in their last game. And Salah breaking records left, right and centre. Can he get to 2020 in the goals and assists this season? It's looking very likely that he can. This for me, this is going to be a bloodbath. I'm going to go Liverpool 5, Leicester 0. I just can't see any way that Leicester get a result out of this one. It's going to be ugly. What do you guys think? The Amex Stadium down south will see Brighton hosting Brentford. And Brighton are seriously struggling right now to get a W on the board. A couple of draws, as we mentioned, with West Ham, a few L's here and there. They just seem to have lost their rhythm and are starting to slide down the table. Brentford, on the other hand, coming off the back of a humiliating defeat to Forest, are terrible away from home. In fact, their away record matches Southampton down the bottom on 1 point. So you would expect this to be a home win. Under normal circumstances, sure, but Brighton look out of sorts. They need to get it together on this one. Having said all that, I'm going to go Brighton 2, Brentford 0. I just don't think Brentford will recover from what Forest did to them the other week, and Brighton have to win a game eventually, don't they? The Emirates will see Arsenal hosting Ipswich. And Arsenal are basically relying on Jesus again. I know it's Christmas time and everything, but will he hang around post the 25th of December? Yes, they were fantastic against Crystal Palace, but can they sustain and get themselves back into this title race? Under Arteta, I just don't think they've got the bottle for it. Don't get me wrong, this should be a comfortable home win. Ipswich not looking like they're going to be that surprise package this season. Starting to pick up some L's and not looking like there's enough in the tank to keep them up. And I gotta say, this one's going to be a home win. I'm going to go Arsenal 3, Ipswich 1. I'll give them a goal out of charity, but I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal keep a clean sheet. What do you guys think? And that brings you through your Boxing Day fixtures. Let me know your predictions in the comments down below, and we'll check them next week to see how right or wrong you guys were. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the Footy Network if you are new here. We'll see you on the next video. Enjoy the holiday season,